What is your legal name?
Yeah, what's your real?
If you ever thought that there would be a new congressional representative less qualified than our favorites Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, and Lauren Boebert, you are in luck. Let me reintroduce you to George Santos, the lying fraud who fabricated almost his entire background, who made it to Capitol Hill. And he's a little lost in more ways than one. Santos did a lot of talking on the campaign trail, how he was ushering in a new era of the GOP, one more tolerant of LGBTQ people, minorities, Jews, but boy, is he quiet now that the rug has been pulled from underneath him. Except he has fessed up to the latest allegation that he used stolen checks on a visit to Brazil in 2018 to purchase clothing and shoes. And because American politics is just as brain-breaking as ever as we enter 2023, you might not even be surprised that Santos's lies and becoming sworn in as a member of Congress is not even the most dramatic thing happening in the House right now. Kevin McCarthy has lost an astonishing 5th round of voting for Speaker of the House, but I'm covering that in another video dropping this week. For now, we need to keep the pressure on Santos to resign. He probably thinks that McCarthy's numerous failed votes is going to carry his story off in the wind, and with our psychotic news cycle, this could very well happen. Last week, Democratic Congress member Richie Torres announced that he would be introducing a bill requiring those running for office to disclose key parts of their personal biography under oath. If they disobeyed this rule, they would be subject to fines and jail time. And look, maybe it's controversial, but I actually don't support going that far. Imprisoning someone for lying on their resume could have really bad trickle-down effects for any of us who may or may not have ever fudged a detail on a resume. Of course, we must hold politicians to higher standards than average civilians, but in general, I'm not in favor of expanding the punishment state. We have to look at how this happened in the first place. Maggie Haberman of the New York Times had an excellent analysis of the story, saying that what's happening with George Santos is the aftermath of a gutted local media ecosystem. More than 100 local newsrooms have closed since 2020. Since 2004, that number rises to 1,800 newspapers that have completely gone away. And it's these sources that have time and interest in reporting on candidates like Santos. It is so important to support local media. We can't legislate away liars and frauds, especially those who want to go into politics. We can't prosecute egomaniacs. What we can do is invest our time and interest back into local newspapers. Penny Abernathy is a journalist who has reported extensively on the shuttering of nationwide weekly papers. And she writes that when you lose a small daily or a weekly paper, you lose the journalist who was going to show up at your school board meeting, your planning board meeting, your county commissioner meeting. And then communities lose transparency and accountability. Enter George Santos. Supporting local media is the only way we can prevent this horrid escalation of frauds to the highest office in the land going forward. So today, right now, find those local papers, weeklies, the local journalists, and throw some material support their way. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.